we'll start with the beams. So you are already aware that beams are subjected to vertical loading or transverse loading, and they produce bending moment. So one-dimensional beam element is shown here. Here each node is having 2 degrees of freedom. That is, one is vertical displacement and another is slope. So node 1 is having V1 as a vertical displacement at node 1 and theta 1 as a slope at node 1. Similarly, V2 and theta 2 are the vertical displacement or transfer displacement and slopes at node 2 respectively. So in earlier chapters, this theta was the term referred for angle of twist in torsion chapter. So no need to get confused here. So here we are representing slope by theta in beam chapter. So theta, that is slope, is expressed by dV by dx in this beam chapter. So for node 1, theta 1 equal to dV1 upon dx and theta 2 equal to dV2 by dx. So in generally, if you plot a line in xy coordinate system, slope is given by dy by dx. So here y term is vertical displacement v and x remain as it is, and here slope is represented by theta. So in general, in our FEM, the beam element is having 2 degrees of freedom at each node. So one is vertical deflection or vertical displacement V, and another is slope, that is theta. So next is to find the expression, that is say function of beam in terms of global coordinates. So this beam element having 2 nodes, node 1 and 2, and each node is having 2 degrees of freedom, V1 theta 1 at node 1 and V2 theta 2 at node 2, so which already discussed in previous page. So since there are 2 degrees of freedom at each node, you know how to write interpolation function. From module 1 we already discussed this. So here interpolation relation for this beam element is given by V of x equal to a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube. So this is equation number 1. So you know how to write this by using Pascal's triangle. So we already discussed that. So writing equation 1 in matrix form, so V of x equal to 1x x square x cube, and in vertical direction a1, a0, a1, a2 and a3, that is equation number 2. So if you multiply these two matrices, so you will be getting again same equation 1 only. But if you reduce the equation 1 in matrix form, so very easy to function calculations. Next, differentiating equation 1, because since we want slopes, so dv of x upon dx equal to theta, that is our slope. So if you differentiate that, you will be getting the equation which is shown here, that is equation number 3. Now apply boundary conditions at x equal to 0, v equal to v1, theta equal to theta 1, and x equal to L, it is v equal to v2 and theta equal to theta 2. Substituting these boundary conditions in equation 1 and equation 3, we get expression for v1 theta 1, v2 and theta 2, which is shown here, that is equation number 4. So again rewriting this equation 4 in matrix form, which is shown here, and writing the expression in matrix form again for a0, a1, a2 and a3 in the form of this matrix transpose multiply by matrix v1 theta 1, v2 theta 2. So already discussed again this in module 1, how to find the inverse of a matrix. So finally writing that inverse of matrix and substituting in this equation, we'll be getting the following equation, that is equation number 5. Substituting equation 5 in equation 2, so finally we will get v of x equal to, in bracket, n1, n2, n3, n4, multiply by again one more matrix v1 theta 1 v2 theta 2 at the end. And this matrix n1, n2, n3, n4 is a shape function matrix which is represented by matrix n, and this v1 theta 1 v2 theta 2 is a displacement matrix. So this is internal expression for beam element. So v of x equal to matrix shape function matrix n multiply by displacement matrix q, and n1, n2, n3, n4 is expressed in the previous equation in terms of x and length of beam element, which is shown in the page. So this is a shape function expression for a beam element in global coordinates.